Why does everyone want to be like Hungary? Hungarian street food is everywhere in Eastern and Central Europe. Chimney cakes are so common in Prague that for a while I thought they were a Czech specialty. But no, they are not Czech. They are Hungarian, like just about everything else. Street food is an art form. It's gotta be cheap, but it's gotta be good. It's gotta be dynamic, but it also has to be portable. I've eaten incredible street food from all over the world. Kebab and currywurst in Berlin, pupusas in El Salvador, French tacos in Morocco, and frites in Belgium. But in Budapest, there isn't just one street food specialty. There are several, and they are all totally different, and they are all totally amazing. So my question is simple. Does Hungary have the best street food in the entire world? Food markets are a huge thing in Budapest, which should go to show you right away how much the people of Hungary value eating. The greatest market hall in Budapest is easily the Great Market Hall. The bottom floor is a proper market with meat, fruit, seafood, and more. But if you're looking for street food, go on and head upstairs. Now, most of the space upstairs is designated to souvenirs. You can do all your souvenir shopping right here. I mean, trust me, you got options for days. Along the one end, however, there is a whole selection of food stands. There isn't a ton of room up there, so it does get a little crowded and a little crazy. So if you happen to find an empty seat, trust me, grab that up right away. You'll see plenty of traditional Hungarian options here, but I had my eyes set on what is probably the #1 most famous street food in Hungary, langos. Ultimately, langos is fried bread that serves as a base for other toppings, though it honestly is delicious all by itself. You can go sweet and add Nutella, bananas, cookies, or caramel, or you can go for savory and add cream cheese, pepperoni, lettuce, tomato, or anything else. My langos ended up covered with pretty much half of the food that they could find in the Great Market Hall, apparently. I mean, just look at this. There is a mountain of toppings on this thing. I think in hindsight, I would have probably preferred much simpler toppings. The langos bread was definitely the best part of this. I mean, it was delicious, but I got so many toppings that it kind of felt like there was an entire house salad sitting on top of my bread. This was also actually quite expensive. I paid $22 for this along with a Coke Zero. But to be fair, I blame the prime location and the sheer amount of toppings. Next time I will go much simpler and just get the bread along with maybe some cheese. Also, that's classically the way that it's prepared. Okay, the proper Hungarian name for chimney cake? Are you sitting down? It's Kürtöskölacs. I mean, just look at all the accents over all these letters. The O has 2 of them. Chimney cake has gotten super popular all over Eastern and Central Europe. It's this sort of spiral cinnamon bread baked and formed into the shape of a cone. Now, these were actually first created in Transylvania, which today is a part of Romania. However, prior to the first half of the 20th century, Transylvania was a part of Hungary. So I think it's correct to say that they are either Hungarian or Romanian, or you could even say that they are Transylvanian. You know, baked by vampires and all that. Stupid. Wherever you buy it, you'll usually have the option to fill your chimney cake with something like ice cream and toppings. It's another bread sort of base level dish intended to be filled or covered. Now, I think with the langos that I got at the Great Market Hall, I had wished that I had gone more traditional and simple. So here, that's exactly what I did. I went totally plain. I just bought a straight up unfilled piece of Kürtöskölacs. But I should have gotten it filled with ice cream. I got these totally backwards. This is delicious, don't mistake it, but it does to me feel like a base. Like, I felt like something was missing here. I mean, look how good these pictures look. Filled with Twix or Snickers? Oh my god, I f***ed up. Public baths are a huge thing in Budapest. I love water. I love cities that are surrounded by water. I love architectural water-themed spaces. Now, the most famous public baths in Budapest are by far the Széchenyi baths. If you've watched any other videos about Budapest, you've probably seen them featured. It is the Disneyland of bath time. They do really look incredible. However, their outdoor baths were actually down for cleaning and maintenance during my visit. So I took that as an opportunity to visit the second most popular bathing complex in the city, the Gellert baths. Okay, this is a deep cut, I know, but does anyone remember the Gellerts from Neopets? If you do, you and I are brethren. We are cut from the same cloth, and I just need you to know that I would go to war for you. The Gellert baths are beautiful. Unlike in Japanese onsens, where you bathe totally in the nude, or in Turkish baths, where you wear what is effectively cloth undergarments, public baths in Hungary are co-ed and everyone wears swimwear. So it's a great option for those who are maybe a little bit more modest. Even in the locker room, there are changing stalls. It's actually quite private overall. It was a cold day in Budapest, so it was kind of a struggle getting to and from the outdoor bath, so I didn't stay out there for too long. The interior architecture is the star anyway, and inside there are heated take baths at multiple different temperatures. You can basically choose from sitting in room temperature water to sitting in an actual lava pit. So, you have options. I found it so relaxing to be in this gorgeous space, just soaking in the minerals with 40 perfect strangers. Pro tip, if you go to any public baths in Budapest, be sure to bring along a bathing suit, a towel, and some flip-flops. I had to buy a towel and flip-flops because I forgot mine, and it was expensive. If eating at the Great Market Hall is like eating street food in Manhattan, eating at Caravan is like eating street food in Brooklyn. Caravan is an outdoor street food court with a whole bunch of food stalls all right next to each other. It's pretty cool. There's alcohol, there are vegan options, tons of people there in their 20s and 30s. I decided that this is where I would order me some goulash. I spoke about the Czech version in my food video about Prague, but this is totally different. Goulash in its original form is actually Hungarian. It's basically a meat stew. It was a pretty cold night, so goulash was definitely the right choice. I'm not usually crazy about soup or stew in any form, but at an outdoor food court on a chilly night, it felt like I was doing the right thing. Is it still street food if it's in its own brick and mortar restaurant? Borz Gastrobar, despite having their own prime location in downtown Budapest, is really proud to be making high quality Hungarian street food. Also, they really like Star Wars. Now, it was my intention to get something along the lines of kolbisz here, which is another sort of cone-like bread dish base that holds meat inside of it. I was suggested, however, to try their traditional sausage and cheese baguette, along with some of their homemade cherry beer. It isn't kolbisz, but I do feel like the vibe is sort of the same. Bread surrounding meat. Hot dog! No, it's not a hot dog, guys. Come on, this is different. This was delicious. Since it's a baguette, it was toasted on the outside, which melts the cheese and makes it sort of taste like a Hot Pocket. I was super into it. Plus, this cherry beer is maybe my favorite beer that I have ever tasted. They also serve a variety of soups, and from what I hear, it can get quite busy in there sometimes. The fun thing about Borz is they're not afraid to take the reins and sort of create their own new forms of Hungarian street food. That's part of why street food in Hungary is so exciting. It's because places like these aren't afraid to experiment and try new things, which ultimately other nearby countries will end up copying when they become successful. I'm looking at you, Prague. So, you know how I mentioned that I love water? All of my favorite European cities are not only on top of water, but they also have it deeply integrated into their framework. Venice, Amsterdam, Porto, Wrocław, and of course, London and Paris. These are all places that are just one with the rivers and oceans that they're connected with. Budapest is no different, and I knew I wasn't going to miss the chance to take a nighttime boat ride down the Danube River, which separates the two sides of the city. It was cold. The warmth from the Gellert baths and the heat from the goulash had faded, and I was freezing. I could have gone inside the boat where it was warm, but I didn't. I couldn't. Something about the beauty of being out on the water at night with the city lights just really feeds my soul. I couldn't look away. Great street food does the same thing. It's so unpretentious. It's delicious, but it's meant to be eaten by the everyman. It's meant to be affordable. It's meant for people who are busy. I love that the most famous food you find in Hungary is street food. It makes the city so accessible. It just feels easy. We aren't out here talking about the street food culture in places like France or Italy or Spain, because having a meal in places like that feels much more like an event. Is Hungarian street food the best in the world? I'll let you decide. But one thing is for sure, the people of Hungary have made it an art form, and I think that speaks really well to the citizens who live there. If you're hearing this, that means that you are still here, and that means that I love you. Thank you so much. If you want to keep vibing with me, YouTube has another video that it thinks you will enjoy. Click here to watch it now.